You are listening to the USDN on the DSPN.
It's a trap!
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the United States Department of Nerds, where we are for the people, by the people, and of the people. Before the mask, before the ink, before the character becomes a legend, there's a real person behind that inspiration. And tonight we sit down with an actress, a model, and a comic book muse, the real-life inspiration behind Rita Rivera from Lucha Mystery, brought to life by Cyclone Comics. Shout out to Evan. From stepping into characters like Marion Maxx to embodying a beer-loving vampire named Jenna to becoming a part of Mississippi Macabre, this is where reality meets the page. Ladies and gentlemen, the Council of Nerds is now in session. D, welcome to the council.
Thank you so much for having me, Jeff.
So you are a very special person, as I don't ask a lot of people to come on the podcast, but I was like, I want to do something different, and I want to explore multiple facets of the comic book industry. And you just so happen to be like in that cusp of comic books without actually writing a comic book or drawing a comic book yourself, right, even though you are a fantastic artist yourself.
Thank you.
Check out her Redbubble. Link is in the description.
I'm definitely just kind of in there, here, there, not quite. Yeah.
But it's worked for you, because I mean, every character that is out there that is you reflects back to you. I mean, the characters are eerily similar to you in every instance. So shout out to those amazing artists out there who are bringing those to life. Mm-hmm. But you are an actress first. How did you get into acting, and what kind of drove you to want to be an actress?
Well, I think ever since I was born, I've always wanted to perform. Like, I had like a top hat and a cane when I came out of the womb, and I've just always wanted to perform. And I would do plays in school, which were great. But I just really loved film, movies. My cousins introduced me to Fifth Element, stuff like that. And that just really kind of immersed me into the world of movies, Star Wars, of course, Titanic, all those kind of things. And it just really made me want to be a part of that world.
What a great world it is, because you are, what do y'all call yourselves? Winnipeggans?
Winnipeggers.
Yeah. And so many like movies and shoots happen there. So you're like right in the heart of, the Canadian film industry right there. So
right, yeah.
I don't know if that was done purposefully or like, I'm moving to Winnipeg because this is where the action's happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Winnipeg has really just been getting a lot more attention lately. It's nice that actors like myself don't have to go to, Vancouver or Toronto, LA, you know what I mean? It's like all right here. And they really like our old buildings. The architecture looks very much like old New York, Chicago. So it's really nice that movies are coming here, and even bigger movies too. Like we had John Travolta here last summer. So that's really exciting.
That will go direct to DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, John Travolta. My bad, dude. My bad.
We love you.
We really do. You were great in Saturday Night Fever. But so you became the inspiration for Rita Rivera in Lucha Mystery. And Lucha Mystery is just such a fun comic book. For those who aren't familiar with it, it is done by Evan. I'm going to attempt to pronounce his last name. Quiring. I was so close. But so Lucha Mystery follows a group of luchadors who are sent to this, basically it's a dead town, to have a show where a UFO has crash landed and turned its citizens into basically zombies. And Rita is the daughter of a famous, like, legendary luchador himself, and she's his daughter, who is a writer for a newspaper, or is it a magazine? I can't remember which.
I feel awful, but
she is a journalist.
Yeah.
I double checked.
Yeah.
She's a journalist.
Right.
So how did that happen? And how was that subject brought up for you to be Rita?
Well, so I was introduced to Evan's comics when he and I first started dating, and I really love just like his mind. He was telling me all about the stories and just how he had developed this like years ago. It was in his mind, and how he brought it to like just to come to life. And what I really liked about it was that it took place in the 1960s.
The clothes, the big sunglasses,
right. And I'm a big fan of everything kind of vintage retro. So I kind of have that love for pinup and old Hollywood style stuff like that. Yeah. So I loved her beehive and stuff like that. So that was
the beehive and the hat with the scarf and sunglasses.
And the sunglasses. So it was interesting when he had published his comic, and he was doing a fan quest. So it was kind of like a smaller convention. Mm-hmm. And I had never dressed up before as cosplay, anything. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to dress up like your character. I really love his other character too, Queen Rockdora.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous and beautiful and just badass, but not as family friendly for a convention. So so I thought Rita Rivera would be just such a fun character to be and dress up as. So I ordered a beehive wig online, and we went shopping at the thrift store and looked for her sweater. I think there's a image of her in like a pink
sweater.
Violet,
it's like violet, like pink or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, she's in her underwear a few times too, but again, family friendly. So we went for the pink sweater, and then she has a little scarf and all that. So I dressed up like that, and it was just so funny when the wig came in. Like, I put it on, and he was just like, "Oh my god, like, she's here!" Like, and he was just kind of amazed, like, she's brought to life like my vision in this comic. So when we were at the convention, it was just so much fun. Getting to like sit next to his comic and be like, this is who I'm playing. And that kind of gave me the itch to get into like cosplaying, kind of like, what can I do next? So, and after that, actually, Stephen Butler, wonderful artist creator, drew a picture of me cosplaying as Rita. So he even put like my little mole. So now I'm kind of like, wow, what an honor. Yeah. So, and I think Evan said like, going forth, like he kind of wants Rita to have her mole now. So it's really nice that I got to be a part of all of that, and seeing him create this over the years.
Really cool. And for me, like, I've gotten to read this series, and it's such a fun series. And, of course, I've interviewed Evan in Cyclone Comets, and such a smart, and like the way his mind works with comic books is, He's like I love how he lights up. He's like a little kid explaining it when I first
got him, like when I first met him and he would explain to me what the story was about, it was just like listening to a kid talking about, you know, like their favorite toys and stuff. So I just love, like, I was like, this is his baby, you know? So getting to witness him create that, and just over the years how he's developed so much, like it's just really fascinating, and incredibly talented, just so gifted. And like ever since he was young, like there were drawings he did when he was a kid, so I was like, you were meant to do this.
Yeah, he showed me some of those when I had him on the show, and I was just like, dude,
like you were meant to do it.
He really was. And so when you saw Rita that very first time, did you go, that's me?
It's funny because she has the dark hair. She's a little bit more of a voluptuous gal. So I did like that, you know, like, because a lot of characters in comics, you know, they can be quite slim, or they can, you know, I like that she was kind of like, you know, a little more of a voluptuous gal, you know, and so I could relate to her that way. And again, just the like the vintage aspect, I really just love, like her driving with her glasses and her
like the old Cadillac that she's driving, the convertible.
Just super cool.
So do you approach inspiration differently than acting? Like when you were putting on the cosplay to become Marion, did you approach that differently from whether, like, if you were going to do a shoot for a movie or a read-in for a movie part?
I tend to approach everything in the same kind of way. You know, I just kind of, I hear what it is, the vision that they have, and I try my best to really just, you know, bring that to fruition, and just really try my best. I am quite new to the cosplay world. So like I said, the Rita Rivera was kind of my first real break into it all. So the Marion Maxx thing, you know, I was a little nervous at first. They had approached me and they just said, you know, we'd really like you to, you know, do this and pose, you know, for the comic, and it'll be a cover. And I just thought, okay, I'll give it a try, you know, because I know so many cosplayers, like, you know, construct so many different outfits and everything like that. And I just I called my sister up and I said, can you help me maybe, you know, like sew some stuff and put things together? And that's essentially what we did. And it's just kind of a trial and error, and they were happy with it. I think it's just, you know, exuding the confidence that you are that character and just embodying that, you know.
And it's a little bit harder because you're stepping into a indie comic character. There's not years of character development on this character. So you're basically ground floor, like, how would this character actually be? Right. And it's a very different than other cosplayers stepping into a character that has an anime or it's been in comic books for years and years. You stepped into a character issue number 1 basically and was like, all right, this is Marion. How'd I do?
Exactly. It's like I said, I think it's just kind of, you know, taking their little bits of information about the character and what they kind of want, how they would like you to project it, and that's all I can really do, and just kind of give it my all, give it with gusto, and just hope that that's, you know, I'm doing, you know, doing it right.
I mean, you have an acting background, so I mean, you're able to take directions from a director or a comic writer in this case. It kind of like, okay, this is how she is, this is what she is, this is what she does. You can kind of take that limited information and with your background in acting, give them that character. With the hardest part, of course, always going to be like the sewing and constructing of the outfit for that character.
Well, and it was Scattered Comics. So it was Scattered Comics were the ones that did it. Jason Doobie and Keith Carmona. And they were very, very kind and understanding, knowing that I am fairly new to this. And I just, like I said, like, you know, like, please understand, like, I've never constructed anything. And they were so sweet, saying like, you know, like, we have faith in you. You're talented. You're beautiful. Like, all these sweet things. And I just thought, okay, well, you know what? And it just kind of gave me the confidence to kind of just go for it. And, you know, as soon as, like, because it was my sister and I taking the photos, and we just, once you're like in that gear, you just, that confidence just comes out, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so I just, you know, and then I had a friend who is also an amazing artist. Shout out to Ian, the comic artist, on Instagram, if you ever have a chance to see. He actually photoshopped a photo of me, and with her eyes glowing green. So he kind of brought the image to life. And that's when it really kind of was like, yeah, you know what? I am her. I am Marion, you know? And yeah, like, when it all comes together, it's, you have that initial kind of nervousness with anything, with auditions, with any kind of performance. And I think we're all our worst critic.
100%.
Always. Yeah. Like, I, you know, and I was so concerned about, you know, the outfit, but honestly, it was just kind of like how I presented the character. I'm badass. I got this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the outfit could have been a lot better, but
hey, it was your very first go into this. So, I mean, but since then,
they asked me again. So now I'm like, hey,
it couldn't have been that bad, right? If they're coming back to get you to do it again. So, but you've also been the beer loving vampire Jenna, which we brought up. And was that just like, how was that one? Was that for a cover, or was that just like you were the muse for the character?
So that was for a cover. They had a Kickstarter promotion going on.
Okay.
And that was one of the, what is it you call?
The cosplay gifts? Covers?
One of the gifts you can unlock if they reach a certain amount.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that would be, it was kind of like an alternate
stretch
cover.
goal. It was a stretch goal.
Goal. Yeah, I'm sure you kind of understand the Kickstarter world more than me.
Oh yeah. But, it's kind of my bread and butter.
Yeah. So they just approached me, and so I'm actually now part of the Scattered Studios. So anytime someone has a, you know, indie comic that they have and they want to bring a character to life and they want me to cosplay it, you know, I have a rate or something, and I offer them, you know, some high quality photos, and hopefully they like it. And this past one, with Jenna the vampire, he was happy. So, and again, I just kind of went for it. I said, you know, I don't have a professional photographer or anything like that, but I use my own backdrop. And again, I think it's just the confidence in just bringing that character to life. You know what I mean? And just really embodying them. And just, you know, I held my little bottle of beer, and because he's like, yeah, she likes to drink her beer. I was like, oh, okay. All right. I bought my little fangs, and I just, you know, it's,
so those pictures, if anybody is interested, they can go to your Instagram at FilmGirlDee and see some of those. And it looked like you were having just like the time of your life with that. So
I love that. And I love like horror too. So getting to play, you know, vampires, always neat. So
that's a perfect segue, actually, because you are also the Witch of Yazoo from Mississippi Macabre, which is a really, really just phenomenal looking cover for that book.
Yeah.
How did you end up as that one? What was your very first one like that you were actually a part of?
So the first one was the Marion Maxx, and then I did the Steven actually just did it up. Like, that was a photo I had taken on my own, just a photo shoot I had taken on my own. Just, I was kind of just being a gothy witch. And he showed me that, and he's like, I'm using that. Like, if that's cool, can I use that as my cover? And I was like, I would be honored. That's amazing. Yeah. And
that's actually kind of cool that just a random, like, you having fun, you know, doing photos. So
awesome. Yeah.
And that's probably my favorite one too, of all of them. That's probably my favorite one was the Mississippi Macabre. Is one of those where I'm like, damn, I wish I would have been in on that one. You know, just so I could get the book.
So incredibly talented. So incredibly talented.
So that's a total of 4 comic book characters right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm still very much in my infancy of doing all this. So
Yeah.
I'm just still very honored though that, people still want me to, portray their characters, and they're giving me the chance, because that's essentially how you start, right?
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, 100%. Like you look at like some of the girls who do like Vampirella and Red Sonja and those cosplay covers.
100%.
Some of them have been doing it for like years and years, and it's just like they're, they were born to be those characters.
Yeah.
You've taken it a step further and go, hey, just throw me a character and I got you.
Yeah, it's kind of just like, I got
Yeah.
you. Yeah. So I really try to kind of like, put my, it's my acting, incorporate that like with my history of acting and all that. And it's just, that gives me the confidence to kind of, because essentially with acting, you're obviously you're pretending, right? You're putting on.
Oh yeah.
Right? And so that's essentially what it is. It's just getting to play pretend, and it's all about just having fun. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So for each of these characters, do you like how do you prepare yourself from a mental standpoint to become these characters that you've gotten the luxury to play?
Yeah.
Like, are you like I'm going to sit myself in a quiet room and do the whole acting thing, whatever it is they do to get themselves into the mindset of these characters?
You know what? It depends. It could be, I might just have like the desire to do it at like 3 a.m. and just be like, I'm in the mood. I'm going to do this now, or it could be something I've planned and I'm like, you know what, tomorrow at 7 o'clock, we're going to plan this. We've eaten, we've taken a nice walk. We're ready to go. You know what I mean? It just depends. Sometimes I'm just like, I guess that's having ADHD. It's just kind of like that. And I'm the same with myself.
Hey, I feel like ADHD is like the one common thing every creative has in common.
That's
whether it's diagnosed or not, like, I think that's all of us.
I mean, yeah, like, I mean, in many ways it can be frustrating, but also at the same time, it's, that's why I'm creative. I've always been like this. And that's just kind of, in a way it's my own superpower.
Yeah. I mean, our minds have to keep going. Like,
yes.
It's how we're wired. If we're not doing something, we're thinking of what we should be doing or what we forgot that we should have done already. Right.
Well, with my, like the film work and stuff, it's funny. I could work 12, 14 hours on a film set, but you get me 9 to 5 at an office job. I can't do it. Yeah. I've done it for many years, and it's just, I need to be doing things. Yeah. It's just like in the film world, you're always like, there's always different people you're meeting. There's always different things you're seeing, you're on a different set. And, so there's nowhere else I'd rather be than in the creative world.
And I think that's kind of what led me to where I'm at with this. Cause I mean, I have a 9 to 5. Yeah. I love my 9 to 5, but my 9 to 5 also allows me plenty of the freedom to have creative things outside of it. And if I'm sitting at my office desk working, I'm like, ooh, I got an idea for something, and I could just type it up and shoot it to myself.
And that's so nice, right?
It really is. Yeah. I mean, I do so much of my interview writing at work, or I have a template that I use. Yeah. And then I kind of fill in for the person who's going to be on the show. But every now and then there's something, like you've seen it firsthand when we were talking backstage. I was like, ooh, I missed a question I really want to ask. And I put it in. Yeah. And that's how I am. Like, I have this, pre-built stuff, but I'm like, as I'm sitting at my desk, I'm like, ooh, that's
something might pop up.
Yeah. Let me shoot that to myself, and I'll get home and I'll have like 10, 15 emails from myself on stuff I want to add to certain interviews and stuff like that. And I'm like, thank God I got one of those jobs where I have that freedom where somebody's not watching me like right here all the time. Right. And I can just do my job. And if something comes into my head, I can either, shoot myself a message on Facebook or what have you, and just have it waiting for me when I get home. Yeah. So But which character do you think you've played that felt most like you, and which one was kind of like, that one's not me at all? And this could either be from the comic book world or from like roles you played in a movie.
Who I resonate with the most?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough. That's a tough one. You know what? There's so many different like characters and like aspects of characters where you kind of can relate to them in some ways, where you don't relate to them in some ways. Yeah, that's a tough one. Sorry, I can't give you a full answer on that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's one of those where, you know, because you hear people like they'll take roles in a movie and be like, you know, like whether they hated it or they were like, that just didn't resonate with me, but the money was good, you know?
Right.
So it's one of those where I'm like, it's one of those where, this is my first time ever interviewing like somebody who's kind of like been in both those sides of the world, right? I know people who are like, oh, I want to write movies in Hollywood, and here they are writing comic books, you know? Right. Because, you know, there's some connections there. It's like if you can write a movie script, you can write a comic book script.
Absolutely.
Somewhat. Yeah. But like to just, you know, it's one of those where I don't like to ask like haha questions. I would never do that because I think that's fucking the worst journalism in the world. Yeah. But I like to ask questions that are like, they make you think and be like, huh, I wonder. Right. That's good. So what do you think? So you've had these opportunities to collab with different comic book, you know, publishers and artists and writers. What do you think makes a great collaboration between a creator and a model who is doing model work for their character?
I think just being able to openly express what you feel comfortable with, you know, like what their expectation kind of is for their vision, and just being able to kind of understand one another, and just having that relationship where you're able to just kind of, you know what I mean? Like where you just kind of understand what it is we're doing. We're working together. This is what I would like from you. This is what I would like from you. I'm not really comfortable with this. That's okay. You know, like there's situations where I'm like, oh, I took some pictures and I'm not really sure about that. And then, you know, there's times where they're like, that's totally fine. Like, we don't need to do that. And it's just kind of having that nice relationship where you're really like understanding one another.
Good open communication where you can talk and speak openly to the person.
Absolutely.
And that one is such a huge across every board. Yeah. Learn to communicate people is what we're saying. Yeah.
Because I've had people too that wanted to, you know, take photos and stuff like that. And I've had to say like, no, you know, like I think like my grandmother, she used to drive the injured soldiers back in the war. And we have one of her old uniforms. And I had taken a picture in the uniform, and I had a photographer approach me and he's like, oh, I'd love to do photo shoots with that, like to do that. And I was just kind of like, no, like that was kind of a one-time thing, you know, I just need you to be respectful. Like this was my grandmother's, and, you know, it's not something I really want to kind of be.
Yeah. And I imagine the threads on that uniform might be getting a little.
Yeah. So I want to, you know, honor her and like respect her, you know. She was teeny. So, I mean, there was just like one time where I was quite tiny at the time and I had fit it, and I was just kind of like, okay, now I'm going to take it off. I got to keep it safe, you know? Yeah. So it's nice that, and I think that's one thing I'm proud of myself for doing is that I'm getting better at saying no if I'm not comfortable to it. You know?
I think that's a hard thing for a lot of people to say.
Right. Yeah. And it's, I've always been like, oh, maybe. And then I'm like, I don't really want to do it. And I would do it, but I'm getting better at saying like, no, you know what? That's not really my style. Yeah. Or not really my, you know, my kind of jam. So yeah, it's just getting better with saying no.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, that's growth as a person, right? The
Yep.
moment you can start saying no to people and trust me, that shit's hard as a like
It is.
being a people pleaser your whole life, and then all of a sudden
Mhm. Mhm.
you get to that point where you can just say, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's
Like
not
I've
my
had
cup.
people who want me to like do be a reader for them. Like, are you familiar with like self tapes and that, and like having a reader? It's like having
Yeah,
someone read the
yeah.
opposite lines for you. Like I've had some people approach me and say, "Can you help me with this?" And it sometimes requires a lot of you, and
Mhm.
my time is precious. So sometimes
Yeah.
I'm just like, I think you got this, and I'm gonna just like respectfully say it's okay, like no thanks, but good luck, and
Yeah.
yeah, and it's not ever
I
as
mean,
bad as you think it's gonna
that's
be.
a lot though. I mean, that's like a script is like long. And
Yeah, and that's what I
it's
mean. Like there are some people
yeah.
who've asked, and there's like quite a few lines. I'm like, this is like a lot, like maybe give me
Mhm.
more money. And no, but
Yeah.
obviously like my film friends
I
are
mean,
like, oh
obviously you
no,
can't do shit for free. You
no.
have
That's
to,
what I mean. Yeah.
yeah. The rent's coming due, right? You
Yeah.
gotta eat and
I've
people gotta
actually
get
one of the
paid.
things that Evan emphasized, he said, don't do things for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because people want to just like use your photo, or can I use that? And it's like, no, okay, you know,
Yeah.
tell
I
me.
mean, yeah. At the end of the day, we're in the business of being creatives, and being a
Yeah.
creative is at the end of the day, I got to make something. That's why I have a 9 to 5 right now.
Yeah.
Now, when this
Yeah.
starts, making me money, I will probably be like, okay, can this sustain me? And
Right.
then if it can, that's when I'll probably go, okay, I'm logging off of my 9 to 5, and
Yep.
this is now my full time.
Right.
But until that happens, it's,
Till
you
then.
know, or if I could
Yep.
get a sponsor that says, hey, we want to pay you full time to do this, then
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Goodbye, 9 to 5.
Yep, and people will respect you more too, like same with
Mhm.
like my artwork, like I've mentioned to you, like I do art myself.
Yep.
And I've had people just kind of say like, can you draw my daughter for me? And and they never really kind of come through with payment. And
Yeah.
so I think I definitely have to get better with kind of setting those boundaries and like
Yeah.
like contracts and stuff like that, and just
Definitely want to do that.
getting
And
better
if
with
you're interested in Dee's artwork, you can go to Redbubble. The link is down in the description, and check out her art. Pick you up some of those really cool pinup stickers that she has.
Yeah, I've got a few little things on there. Some of my art, I tend to do a little bit more of like caricature kind of cartoon work. So you
Mhm.
never know. Maybe I will like collaborate in the art world, not just my, modeling stuff. So you never know. I'd like to create my own kind of comic someday. I'm not too sure exactly what, but
That's actually kind of a good segue into the next question I wanted to ask.
okay.
What should indie creators know before working with a muse or a model for like either a comic book, or bringing one of their characters to life for, let's say, a Comic-Con or something like that? They want to bring you in and
Yeah.
have you cosplay their characters. What should they know before doing that, before contacting somebody like yourself or another
Yeah.
model or something?
Just really, really pay attention. Like, are they the right fit? Like, do you feel like they are the right fit for you?
Mhm.
Of course, like, rates and stuff like that. Is it something that you're willing to pay? You don't want to end up kind of just being like, oh, I can't pay you anything, or,
Mhm.
just kind of getting on the same, like, are you able to work together harmoniously and, make it work? Uh,
Yeah.
do you have different kind of views that might interfere things too? Like not to get political or anything like that, but it's kind of like if someone was to say, "Are you willing to play a Trump thumping,
Yeah.
supporter or something like that?" Like, do those kind of things align? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like if it's something I'm not, again, saying no, if being able to say,
Yeah.
no, that's not really my thing. I'm going to step away from that. But this person would be great. You know what I mean? And it's,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just kind of comes down to, are they the right fit, the puzzle piece? Do they fit well with your vision? And,
Mhm.
and you can kind of tell from, their portfolios, their profiles, their websites,
So do you have a, so if somebody was to contact you to either become a character for them or anything like that, do you have a contract that you now send to them like, hey, here's my rates, here's a contract if you want to do this?
They would have to contact Jason Doobie on Scattered Studios. So he's kind of like my manager in that sense. So we would kind of arrange kind of different rates and stuff to kind of figure that out together. So that's you can check Jason Doobie. I believe he's Scattered Comics on Instagram, but it's I'm kind of more of under the umbrella of Scattered Studios. But there is a website for that, and I'm listed on there, and you can see that we have like different rates and that, and they can kind of check that out. And or they can always just shoot me a message on Instagram. You know what I mean?
At FilmGirlDee.
Yeah, FilmGirlDee. I tend to do accents too, people. I am an actress.
Yeah, and she had free reign to just do whatever accent she wanted this whole time.
Yeah, I was like, please, I watch a lot of Golden Girls, so Blanche Devereaux, so please don't mind, I might break into a few accents.
So you are an actress. You have been in muse and comic books. How does it feel knowing that your roles in movies and shows, you being the muse for comic book characters and covers, and how does it feel knowing that those are going to be here forever? Long after we're gone, those things are going to be there.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that, isn't it? Like, what kind of legacy are you going to leave behind? What are you going to be remembered for? And so, yeah, that's kind of a neat thing to think about. But it's something you don't really think about. You're kind of like, yes, there's going to be a day when I'm not here. But, that movie that I was in where I played a mom in the mall, someone's going to watch that and, enjoy it. Yeah. And it'll bring them happiness, I think about that a lot with like Harry Potter. Like so many of the actors have passed from Harry Potter. And I think, oh my God, like they just brought so much joy, like, to my childhood, and just like Michael Gambon and or I don't know, was it Richard Harris. Sorry, I'm getting all the names. Dumbledore and just
Hagrid.
Maggie Smith, and just
oh, like she's so wonderful.
Like their characters are forever gonna live on,
Yeah. That one, I think out of all of them that hurt the most, Maggie's was the worst.
Oh yes. Yeah, that one was.
Then Hagrid. I mean, I'm a fan of Dumbledore, but Hagrid and Maggie, both of those like really sucked.
No, but that's the beauty of everything. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you going to leave behind, and for others to enjoy, in the future? And
100%, you have like put your stamp on your life, or that way people will remember the good stuff.
Yeah, that's why I try to go forward with kindness and just positivity and everything, and just not take life so serious, because there's just so much. We could often just get so consumed with negativity or what's going on in the world that we forget the goodness, you know what I mean? And just like, I was just going for a walk and just looking at the geese there happily together. I'm like, they don't have any problems.
Canadian geese.
Yeah.
Canada's national treasures.
Walking to Tim Hortons and I saw my friends, the geese. Yeah, I sound super Canadian.
You get yourself a half and half of some Timbits.
A half and half or a double in the... Do you guys say... I guess you don't say double, hey? That's a...
Unless we're ordering
sugar in a coffee.
And a half and half is like half cream, half coffee, for those who are wondering what we're talking about. And Timbits are just donut holes.
They are. But
they're like, yes, 100%. 100%. And I'm so glad, because Tim Hortons is finally making its way down to the coast that I'm on. So I'm like, come on.
Even so in the close. UK, my friend Amy from the UK mentioned she went to Tim Hortons. Hi, Amy. I love my friend Amy. But yeah, she says, we've got Tim Hortons here. So that's kind of cute. Feels like there's a little...
I got so many good friends over in the UK, and I always enjoy when they come on the show, because I do a I keep Saturdays open for my friends in the UK if they want to come on and talk about whatever project they're working on that. So Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. are for my friends in the UK. So
I love it.
Yeah, that's I will always have a Saturday open for those guys, and
I feel like I should have a day like that that's just dedicated to like my English.
It's every day that ends in Y, right?
Yeah.
Like I just had a Saw Rob, who created Comments.1, and he's Australian, so I got to do a show in 2 different days of the world at the same time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was really cool. This is my second time I've gotten to do that because I've also interviewed.
That's quite great. Wow, that's awesome. If you ask me, I love
also interviewed somebody. I've also interviewed somebody from New Zealand, which was really cool as well. Yeah. So getting to do a show in the U.S. where it's Friday and then they are Saturday. Right. So it's one show, 2 days. So cool to like.
That is. And that's what is so great about like, the internet and everything like that. Like just that we're all able to connect in that way.
Yeah.
And just like I said, my friend Amy, who I love dearly, like we've been friends for years and years. And it's just like being able to connect with them and share things with them. And the same with comics and everything like that. Like there were times where, there were times where Evan was feeling discouraged, like, sometimes it's not taking off in Winnipeg. But then I say, but what about all your fans in the States? You forget about the ones got tons of fans in the US. You know what I mean? So it's something you got to think about. Like it's all over. My Red Bubble, I had somebody buy a postcard from Germany. Like, come on.
How cool is that though? Like, and that's what's great about what it is that we do is we were able to connect with fans from all over the world and I got somebody coming on from Ireland. I can't remember if it's this month or next month.
Yeah.
But it's so cool, like to have somebody from Ireland, contact me and go, hey, I want to come on your podcast and talk about my comic book.
Right.
From Ireland.
It's so cool.
It's like phenomenal. Like the one thing that kind of connects us all to some degree is like something as simple as a comic book.
A comic book. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's so true. And it just makes us all feel like at one. It was almost like, during the pandemic, how we were all kind of like in it together. We're like, well, like it wasn't just you in one country. It was all of us, we were all in this together. So it's kind of like, yeah,
that was such a horrible time.
It was such a horrible time. And, But that was.
But there's a lot of really amazing comics that come out in that era. I think that helped the industry take off again in a positive direction because everybody was sitting at home. What are you going to do?
Creatives were really creating.
Yeah. Yeah. And they didn't have a whole lot of choice. They had. So otherwise, you're sitting there with a brown thumb.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so it's, of all that kind of craziness, it's nice that there was like some kind of good that came out of it in the end, a little bit.
Yeah, you got to take something positive from that experience. Otherwise, you'd still be driving yourself crazy, I guess.
For sure.
But let's do this. Would you want to co-create your own comic book character?
I think so. I've got so many different people now that I've met.
You're part of the industry now.
I'm now technically kind of part of the industry. I know. It's hard for me to think. I'm like, I'm not really, but I'm like, no, I kind of am. I'm a little bit woven in there. But I think just like taking maybe some advice from friends and people who've been doing it for years, and just kind of seeing where to go from there and what to, I don't even know what I would create. I think it's just, you just got to just start somewhere. You know what I mean? Start writing things
Start
down.
with a notebook.
Yeah.
That's how I did it. Like I had my original idea that I'm working on right now. It was just notebooks and just me writing
Right.
notes and then typing my notes out later and then going, okay, this is so disorganized, and then just like organizing my thoughts and
Right.
doing all these things. And
I
but,
think that's
yeah.
what it is like I'm such a creative person, and sometimes I just have so much in my head that I don't know how to like
You gotta write them down.
with it, where I'm just like, you know what I mean? It's almost like
Yeah.
I wish I had someone to kind of just like organize. I guess that's what medication's for, but but you know what I mean? Like I just sometimes I just have so many ideas, but you're right. Just putting it like kind of putting it on paper, just getting it going, you know? And
if you don't have a text message thread to yourself, are you really doing it?
Right. Yeah, yes. I do that on Facebook Messenger. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Or I'll put like the name of the pizza delivery guy so I can remember him and say like, hey, you know, tall pizza delivery guy with beard, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thread to yourself for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a thread to yourself. Otherwise, you know, just as you're driving and you get to the red light, like, oh shit, I don't want to forget this one. Like, send. Like, all right,
It's
cool.
got everything. I know. I'll sometimes scroll and I'm like, what the hell was I going through that day?
Yeah, that's the worst. Is when I go to take my.
A lot. There's like quotes in there, and
I'll go to take my notes and like put them onto a document or something on my computer, and I'm like, I don't know what that one was for. I'm gonna put that one in my my unknown stack, and maybe it'll come to me later.
There's like the
just be like a
random. You're like, okay, April of 2024. I was kind of going through something. Okay.
Like, why did I put fuck that guy?
I
wonder. Like, who was that guy at that point? Like, what day was this? Like, I don't even know who it was anymore. I'm like, okay, that one can be deleted. And then I'll be back like 2 weeks later. I'm like, oh, I remember who that guy was. Yeah, still.
Right.
Fuck that guy.
Or it's like screenshots. They say that with ADHD people. They're like, do you have ADHD? Like if you don't have an entire like photo
album of screenshots. Yeah.
That you never look back on. Like I have all these like, quotes and shit or recipes. And it's just like, I never look back at them. And then you screenshot them again to bring them forward. And you're like, maybe now. And no.
And then you go to like, you want to clear out your phone because all of a sudden your phone is like running out of memory, and you go to your photos and it's like, oh, let me see if there's any duplicates. And there's like 10 of the same screenshot. And you're like, oh, well, it can't be that important if I have 10 of them. Like, why do I have 10 of the same screenshot?
I know. It's so bad.
Guilty of that one. And that was literally a me. I had 10 of the same screenshot because I kept forgetting it. And then I never needed it. I never needed it.
Nice to know I'm not alone on that.
No, there's plenty of us out there.
Yeah.
But what kind of comic world would you want to exist in?
Something sci-fi. I'm going to say Star Wars because we were talking about Star Wars earlier.
Yeah.
Ever since I was young, that has been my bread and butter. I've loved like Star Wars, anything like that. Just galactic, something like that. That's just,
you know, it's funny. It's called like our generation is either Star Wars or Star Trek. There's not an in between on that. It's always one or the other.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's been very divided. Yeah.
I will say though, I have been enjoying. So they did the I think it was Dark Horse Comics did Star Trek red shirts. But you know, the red shirts are the ones that always get killed, right?
Okay.
So the comic book was basically about the red shirts just getting killed.
Okay.
So I thought that was really cool. And then I really like the current Star Trek, live action Star Trek that is on TV. Ooh. Where it's like the Academy or whatever it is, where they're like the new fleet is coming up.
Right. I've
really enjoyed that one.
Okay.
And I didn't think I would. But again, there was no Star Wars on at the time. So but I really enjoyed that.
I feel
it was just something different.
Well, it's kind of like when I was younger and it was like, are you a Backstreet Boys girl or an NSYNC girl? And it was kind of like a big thing. Like it was
of all things, yeah.
You can't like them both. It was always one or the other. So crazy.
Well, NSYNC recorded their first studio album in my hometown at what's the name of the place now? I'm brain farting the studio.
That's all good.
But it's in my hometown, and then they did a album signing at the Walmart that I worked at. So it was kind of wild. Like
humble beginnings.
Yeah, it was just really crazy. And then like shit, probably 2 weeks later, I'm watching MTV after school and like TLC comes on, you know, and
Yep.
I'm like, holy shit, I just seen those dudes. Oh, Fame is the name of the recording studio. It's in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, Fame Recording Studio.
Wow. Yeah.
And yeah, it was kind of wild. Like I went from seeing them, like I seen them, like I
Yep.
got an autograph. I'm not gonna BS anybody. I got one from my cousin because I had to work that day. I was working. But I was like, who the fuck are these guys? And then like no shit, like 2 weeks later, they dropped their first studio album and they were on MTV. I was like,
How it works, man.
what the heck? I'm like, I just like shit, I wish I would have been a little bit nicer to them and telling them instead of telling them to get the hell out of my way so I could work. I was trying to clock in and like they were like in the way. I was like, you know, move. I was really rude, not gonna lie. But
that's why it's always good to be kind, right? You never know. You never
exactly,
know
exactly.
make it big and you know, and remember you. I think it's Winona Ryder said there was some girl that was a bully to her in school. And then one day she kind of was trying to hit her up for money and say, like, hey, remember me from school? And it's like, I remember.
Is this before or after the SATS incident for Winona? Or Johnny Depp tattoo?
I think this is I don't remember. I don't know. Because yeah, that was quite a while ago when that happened.
Yeah. It was actually probably in that same time frame we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember
come back with Stranger Things and stuff. So it was.
Yeah, she was always phenomenal to me. It was like one of those where I was like, I don't care if she got busted. I mean, she was young at the time. You're going to do stupid shit.
No, she was probably going through hard times. You know, we don't know the reason why.
Yeah.
People, you know, there must have been a reason why she felt that she had to do it. But she's come around again. And
I absolutely love her. She's in the Beetlejuice 2 and Stranger Things. She was amazing in. And it's just been really cool to kind of watch this really cool full circle with her coming back. And her and what's his name? Sean.
Sean Astin.
Sean Astin, yeah.
Yeah.
Like from the Goonies to Stranger Things, I was just like, and Lord of the Rings, I was like, that's my dude right there.
Yeah.
Like I always enjoy like anytime like he pops up in something. Elijah Wood's been in some really like weird movies throughout the years where you're like, holy shit, Elijah, man, what are you? I'm like, but damn, I like it.
Yeah.
You know, like just those odd character roles that he'll pick up and he'll do. Right. And I'm like, I don't want to like this, but damn, I like it.
Versatile. Yeah. Like, that's cool. You know, that he's not, you know, I think Daniel Radcliffe from Harry Potter was kind of worried that he was going to just always be
typecast.
Yeah. But he's had some great roles, you know.
He has. And one of my favorite one is the one where he got the horns or whatever.
I'm trying to think. Oh, what that is. I think it's just called Horns.
Is it? It was just a really odd movie that he was in.
Yeah.
But it was so fun.
Yeah, it was kind of an
and then the one where he was what was he, like a Swiss Army man or whatever?
Yeah.
Where he's like, I don't know if he's dead or if he's in a coma or what.
He's just the dead body in the guy's body. I'm like,
yeah. And he's like you as a like to knock down stuff. And I was just like, dude, this
he's
is hilarious.
I love him. I always thought he was so sweet and so cute. When Harry Potter came out, I thought he was so cute. He looked like a young John Lennon.
Ooh, actually, damn, I never,
Yeah,
no, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Especially with the little round glasses when he was playing Harry Potter.
Yeah. I met
minus the drug addiction in a Yoko.
Yeah. I did meet the villain from Harry Potter, Tom Felton, at a Comic-Con.
He's another one.
So sweet.
And he's such a good actor too. I wish he was in more things.
Too. Yeah. And I told him, I said, you know, like we grew up together, like you were Malfoy. I said, but like, I'll always remember you as Malfoy, but it's nice to see you evolve and, you know, kind of go into music and all these types of things. But he was so sweet. And
It's funny. Like some of the worst villains out there are some of the nicest people in real life, and the same thing goes for the wrestling world. Is some of the meanest like heels you'll see on TV are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet in real life.
They're good actors.
Like Tugboat. Tugboat's a big one that always comes to mind. He played this horrible heel on TV, and he hated it. Like he did not like being a bad guy because he loved kids. He loved he was a family guy. He had children, and they, he wanted to, be able to interact with the fans and the crowds and the kids because the kids loved him. And this big old dude, named Tugboat. Yeah. And he was so happy when he got to go back to being, a baby face. And he was like, he just hated being a heel. And
that's interesting that you say that, because I think for roles, I have the hardest time when it's somebody just like a regular Joe Schmo. I think I would much prefer to play someone that is extremely opposite than me, someone like a villain or something. You know what I mean?
They say a villain's like easy to play if you can get yourself in the mindset. And there's a lot of people who have played a lot of really good villains out there that just like they hated it, but they were so damn good at it.
Again, Harry Potter. I don't know if you're familiar, if you were a Harry Potter guy at all, but
100%.
Dolores Umbridge. I think her name's Amelia Stanton.
Yeah.
Hated her in that movie.
But she was so damn good though.
That means she did.
The moment you see her in the bright pink suit,
hated it.
You just immediately hated her.
That
the way she cut her eyes.
Is an amazing actor that can do that. That has that power to make you hate them.
And then you have Maggie, who played I can't remember who she played, but Professor McGonagall. She was the first time you see her come from, she's the cat on the desk, remember? And she jumps up on, and then she comes into the class. You're like,
yep.
All right, I love that. That is I'm in.
Iconic. And I loved her in what's it called? The Secret Garden and all those kind of work she was just such a sweet woman. So talented.
Oh yeah. So what's the future looking like, Dee? What you got coming up for us?
So I just got finished doing a lot of film work. I had a lot of continuity on some stuff. And now I've submitted a few self-tapes for some commercials. So hoping to maybe hear back for something like that, because I've never done a commercial before. So
that'd be really cool.
That would be nice.
And it's always cool when you see commercials and you're like, wait, is that? Yeah.
Right? I know. I could do a commercial for hemorrhoid cream. I don't care. Whatever. Lay it on me. I'll sell it for you. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's all fun. I love doing something that I like. It's just something that I enjoy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So what would be your dream role? I know we've kind of talked about this before, but what do you think is your I would quit everything I'm doing right now for this?
Shit. Again, something maybe a villain, somebody just some kick-ass character, just badass chick like Mila Jovovich, Resident Evil type stuff.
Yeah.
Just badass, just a woman kicking ass, something like that.
Mm-hmm. I know we had talked also previously about you wanting to be a announcer for wrestling as well.
Yeah, that was something that I was kind of thinking of. Again, being introduced to wrestling with the Lucha Mystery from Evan and the wrestling world and all that kind of stuff. I've seen some wrestling shows. I was even in a wrestling scene for a movie last year. So I was just in the crowd kind of, you know? And so just something like that would be kind of neat to do. And I don't know.
I mean, I can give you some good advice from that one. I'm sure there's plenty of little wrestling promotions around Winnipeg. As a matter of fact, I know there is. Just
again,
slide into their DMs. Just hey,
again, am I able to get paid? You know what I mean? My time is precious.
Yeah,
the
no,
thing.
I get
You gotta
that,
remember.
and I don't know that's one of those where I don't know how the promotion's doing. And I know some very much will pay. It may not be a lot. You may get a cut of the gate.
Right.
I don't know how they do that for those types of positions.
Yeah. I've really like I have a very very powerful voice. Probably I hope I'm not yelling too much in this interview.
No,
I
haven't
kind of
been.
forget the magnitude of my lung.
I wish more people would project more.
But that
Like
is
I'm used to it because I'm always sitting here in front of the microphone, so I'm used to projecting my voice to the microphone,
right.
and I know
But
how to
that's something I think
project
because
it.
I've done theater in the past and like being a film actor, you have to, it's the opposite. So you have to reel it in. So that's where I
Yeah.
kind of struggle. So
Yeah.
it's like, so with an announcer, that would be kind of interesting because you are very much kind of, whoa.
Yeah, you gotta bring it up. You
that
know, you
out.
gotta.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've been told from people like, you know, you have a good radio voice, you have a good, like you could do voice. I'd like to try to do voiceover work.
I see.
You know,
I do
that's
see
kinda
that come
something.
across all the time. There's was it a Facebook group or it might have been something on Instagram where there's always this constant need for voice actors,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm too Southern for that. I can't. Like, unless somebody needs a hillbilly character, then hey, yeah, hit me up.
Hey, love that. Why not?
But no, I always see it come across, and I'm just like, you know, like that's like something that you could easily just pick up and fall into, because
Right.
you as an actress, you that's your money right there, is your
Yeah.
voice and your, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, yeah, it falls under the umbrella of everything else in the industry. So that's definitely something I would really love to do. Because yeah, I'm very much like an animated person, and you know, I'll see people that go into my English accent, and they'll kind of be like, what's going on? And I'm just like, you know, this, how are you today? And
If that was me, I would just troll people like all the time. Like I would see a person one day and speak to them in an English accent, and then when I ran into them again, like a week later, I would just talk to them normal.
yeah,
And
like
then
I
just
would
have
do
them
that
go
at guys
like,
in the bar. I'd be like, hello, you know, I'm here from yeah, you know, I'm just in from the UK.
Yorkshire,
And they're like,
Yorkshire.
oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, and just
And then
kinda
the next week,
people,
you see them again and just be like, "What's up, man?"
what's
And they're
up?
like, wait, what?
Yeah, I love that. They
Like,
don't
I
know
thought
what
you
the
were
hell.
from Yorkshire. Like,
Yeah, what you up
I'm
to?
like,
I don't
no,
know
that's
what
somebody
you're talking
else.
about.
That's somebody else. What are you talking
You
about?
met my twin, I think.
But we're gonna bring it home for you, all right? So if an indie creator right now is watching or listening later, what kind of characters should they build with you, or what kind of character would you want them to build for you or around you? Like if they were to contact you, like AD, I have this character idea, I want to use you as a muse. Like what kind of characters what would you want to be?
Again, something kind of dark. I'm very much into those like kind of like horror characters, like just something kind of dark.
I mean, you've been a witch and you've been a vampire,
dark,
so
feminine. There's just something so sexy and just so intoxicating with like characters that are just so, it's funny, like so opposite me, I guess, because I tend to think I'm just kind of like your bubblegum type thing, and it's like kind of having an alter ego, right?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Yeah, so like when you dress up like a witch or something, you know, you get to embrace that inner dark gem, right? That black cat energy.
I was like, oh,
Where's
I thought for a second.
Let's say, where's your
I
black
was
cat?
like, I think he's in the other room. He's in my daughter's room, I think. He spends all his days in there, like he's a bum.
Aw.
Like the other two back there, both sleeping. But so Dee, we're gonna wrap it up. Where can people find you? And if they wanted to work with you, how could they work with you?
So again, you can find me on Instagram at FilmGirlDee and also on the Scattered Studios website. I'm listed there with all the other cosplayers and stuff like that. You
Mhm.
can always just shoot me a message on Instagram. Also, if you want to see my work, film work, it's on IMDb, and you can just type in Dionne Waterman and I'll pop up there.
It's all in the
Um,
links in the description.
yeah. So again, just kind of testing out all my avenues right now and just seeing, if I get any bites, throwing those reels out and seeing if I get any nibbles, and yeah, just having fun.
Yeah, so first off, I want to say thank you for coming on and kind of like talking to us about a different side of the indie comic book world that I've been wanting to explore. And I thought you were like the perfect fit because, we first met when I had Evan on the podcast, and then I wanted to explore something different and kind of like really show people there's multiple aspects and multiple avenues within the indie comic book world.
Yeah.
Because there's people like you who inspire characters who put on the costume to become a comic book cover.
Yeah.
And you don't have to show everything to do it. You can do the wholesome version of a dark character or of a attractive character. You don't have to take off your clothes to do it.
Right. And that's something that's so important too, because I think, you do see a lot of that kind of sex sells type thing.
Oh, 100%. Almost every Kickstarter out there, or every other Kickstarter has that.
And you know what? To each his own. If it sells their stuff, hey. But you know what? Like, I just know, me personally, I think there's a different way of bringing out, your sexuality, and you can be sexy just with confidence and just exuding that. And that's what's most important, is just having that kind of confidence in yourself, how you portray the character. Really, it has nothing to do with I feel like I could put on a potato sack, but if you get me in front of the lights, the camera, the action, you get some nice music going, I will sell that potato sack to you, okay? I will make it
Let's
work.
go.
Work.
I like it. And I appreciate you bringing us a different aspect to the indie comic book world. And like I said, I'm wanting to explore different avenues. I do have some publishers coming on soon who actually publish comic books, so I can talk to them about, like, hey, what do you look for? And I just had Saurabh on, Saurabh. I have to do this to remember how to say his name, but he's the creator of Comics.one, who is like this brilliant, beautiful platform for indie comics. So I'm really wanting to branch out and not just talk to creators and artists, but people who inspire them, the people who build the things that they need to make longevity in the comic book industry. So thank you for that and for sharing your career with us. And kind of what's next for you, which is really cool. I appreciate that. And hopefully we can have you back on another time.
For sure.
When you do your next comic book cover.
Yeah, I appreciate all that you do too. Like it's, having people come together and also network and be able to kind of, get to know new people and learn
That's
new
the best
things.
part about this job, because it literally, without Evan, you wouldn't be here now. And and it's just so cool, that
it's just so amazing how you meet so many new people, and it's always just ever flowing and doing that.
All this because an indie comic book. And it's wonderful to think about the friends you make, the connections, and all these things. And eventually it comes to this, right? Yep. Which is really cool to me, but I'm going to bring it home. Don't run off. So from stepping in front of the camera to becoming the inspiration behind the character, this is what it looks like when creativity crosses worlds. This wasn't just a conversation about acting. This is about identity and transformation, and what it means to live on the page. Make sure you like, follow, and share, because this has been the USDN Podcast, where indie comics come to life. Ladies and gentlemen, the Council of Nerds is now adjourned. Y'all be safe, and we'll see you next time.
Be real soon.
It's a trap!